One thing that I did not expect on Virgin Voyages Alaska sailings on Brilliant Lady is how many different new Alaska food and drink items would be on the ship. And it's not just in the restaurants, it's all around the ship. So in this video, I'm taking you through the back-to-back 14 nights I tried to eat my way through everything so that you can know what to expect and get excited for the food and drinks that are on your sailing coming up. And if you're new here, ahoy, I'm Christine Lozada. I want you to book your Virgin Voyages cruise with us. Make sure you're being a smart traveler. And even if you've already booked, it just takes one text message, email, phone call, or fill out the form to make sure you're being a smart traveler. More info is in the description. I love helpful tips. So let's start off with the first helpful tip, which is Virgin Voyages redid all of their menus for Alaska sailings on Brilliant Lady. And the thing you need to look for on all of these menus is the little bear icon. So that little bear icon is across the menus, and it's how you're going to distinguish which items are the Alaska exclusive items. And one of the things you're just gonna see a lot, and this is where I wanna start this video, you're gonna see a lot of this around the ship, is a lot of different fish items. Right now, I'm at Pink Agave, and I just ordered one of the two amazing Alaska dishes. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of picky about fish, but I really do love the salmon. I actually love it more than the treat yourself item, which is the cod. These two dishes have been really delicious. The cod has this really intense mole sauce. I like a more plain fish. So the salmon, especially when it's cooked medium, right into it. So let's talk about what these items actually are. So that spiced salmon has a jicama citrus salad, pickled red onion, and a chipotle almond mole. This was my favorite dish. And so I actually ended up, I was there for 14 nights. I went to Pink Agave multiple times and ate this dish multiple times. I loved ordering it medium. That's just my preference. The other item, this is a treat yourself item. And the normal treat yourself item is also a fish dish with lobster. But this one is for the Alaska sailings, is the Chorizo Crusted black cod. And it has a price point of $40. Obviously optional. There's the whole rest of the normal menu as well. They didn't take the steak off the menu. Got a little worried about that. And this item comes with red rice, mole poblano, Alaskan king crab, and that mole sauce is what I was referring to in terms of it's a pretty intense flavor. But I think a lot of the things at Pink Agave, this is my opinion, tell me yours in the comments below. Some of the flavors at Pink Agave just are a really strong flavor. This is, traditional Mexico City style cuisine, absolutely delicious, but not a flavor for everybody. I liked that dish, but I wouldn't do it again. There's also drink items that are on there. They have a fresa sangria, which is a strawberry rhubarb chardonnay with strawberry, pineapple, lemon, etc. And then they also have, and a lot of you guys have asked me this, are there wines on the menu also? So Bear Creek Winery is local Alaskan berries, and you're gonna see that wine all around the ship again and again. All right, are you ready to talk about this next one? Because we're about to walk into the wake. There's a few dinner items here that are absolutely delicious. But I'm also going to be honest, it's also one that a lot of people have complaints about. So we'll talk about that too. Get ready to get excited for this one because we have new menu items on Brilliant Lady's Alaska sailings. And I have two of them in front of me right now. And I just took my first bite of this first one. So instead of the tomahawk, which is the normal treat yourself item at the wake, we have a halibut with a caviar sauce over the top with some potato, absolutely delicious. This is a very good dish. It's, to be totally honest, a little bit salty, but I love salty things. I really love salty things. The other thing that we have here is the venison. So this is the other item that's specific to Alaska. We've got a venison, we got some Brussels sprout on there. With a blueberry sauce on top of that. Really excited to try that. But all of the restaurants have a few Alaska-specific items, and it extends beyond the dining. You'll see it at some of the drink items at Grounds Club and Grounds Club 2. You'll see it at the bars. There's all kinds of items all over the ship that are specific to Alaska. It's almost honestly felt like a eat and drink festival in its own way. So I've been really excited. I'm excited to dig into this venison. All right, let's break down these two dishes from the wake. The first one is that pan-roasted Alaskan halibut, and it comes with the potato, spinach, and that black kind of like sauce you see on top is a champagne caviar sauce. So that's what you're seeing. And it is on the saltier side. So for me, my normal order at the wake, if you're familiar with the menu, I normally get the salt baked dorade. Love that dish. It's very salty. Lots of people don't like it because it's salty. I love salt. And so I see the halibut dish the same way. I really enjoy that dish. And that comes with a price point of $45. And that's a complaint because this item is for the Alaska Salines temporarily replacing the tomahawk. And so a lot of you guys have messaged me how unhappy you are about that. But alas, you will just have to come back to Virgin Voyages later. We all do. And you can get that tomahawk later, which book your Virgin Voyages cruise with us. We are award-winning travel agents, and it's the only way to support this channel. And I just love helping you guys with helpful tips. I'm realizing as I'm reading this, you're probably gonna wanna see it for yourself. So this is gonna create a lot of extra work for me, but I'm gonna drop all of these menus that I've taken photos of into a folder if you wanna look at them. And check the info in the description below for how to grab that. So I thought you might be interested. Oh, and there's like a pack list for Alaska, a helpful tips list for Alaska. There's all kinds of things. So make sure you check the info in the description and book your cruise with us. The next one is the venison. Venison is not for everybody. My boyfriend didn't love it, but it's not that he didn't love the dish. He just doesn't love not steak or not beef. And so venison is just a very specific, a little bit more gamey flavor if you've never had it before. But it's a grilled loin of venison, and it comes with yams and chanterelle mushrooms and a pickled huckleberry jus. So I loved this dish. It was definitely a heavier dish, really delicious. And so you'll also see some of those drink items. Look for the bear icon, and that's the wake. If you're familiar with the layout of the ship, then you know that right next to the wake is the dock and the dock house. And this is where you'll see Alaska-specific golden hour. And so this replaces Opa hour. If you're like, what are you talking about? So at the dock and dock house during the afternoon time frame, they will have a menu just for this area of the ship. And that's where you'll find, those delicious bites with, like the shrimp and the beef. And tell me in the comments below which one your favorite one is. I also really love the chicken one. Anyway, that menu still there. Don't worry. In addition to that menu, for a section of the afternoon, they had launched last year and into this year, Opa Hour, right? That was celebrating their Greece sailings, and now for the Alaska sailings, for Alaska only, they have Golden Hour. So Golden Hour is really small bites, just like a little tasting platter of goodness. And let's talk about what is available at Golden Hour. So what you see on this plate is a little bite of duck with a berry glaze, pickled red onion, smoked salt. You also have a lightly smoked Alaskan salmon with mustard seeds, a cracker, and flying fish roe. And then you have a beet tartare. So this is a vegan, gluten-free dish, which has dill and a potato crisp. And then you have this juniper carrot item. I'm laughing because it's hard. I don't like to eat on camera, I'm being honest. I'm a messy eater. It has a whipped chèvre and a spruce tip oil. And then this is really delicious. I actually love the lemon tartlet, which is a lemon curd, torched meringue, and a lemon balm. Really delicious. And one of the other things you don't want to miss is don't miss the drink lineup, especially if you like cocktails. They have a special Alaskan gin on the menu, and they're making really fun drinks out of that. And then you can expect those same Alaskan brewery beers as well as the Bear Creek Winery wines. But that's Golden Hour and is one you should definitely try during your sailing. So if you watched my Alaska tips and what to know video, one of the things I talk about is, there's so many different happenings, cast events that are new and specific for Alaska. And one of them is Last Light Gathering, which happens outside at the dock. And you have the happenings cast there, kind of mingling, and you get to watch the last of the lights, and everyone just kind of hangs out on the dock together. But they also have a menu that's Alaska specific just for this Happenings Cast event. It's the last light gathering menu. So that's one to look for because one of the things that's on there is the hot drink items as well. I think that's really fun. And if you missed it, I have a what to pack for Alaska video. This is an example of, I wish I would have had my own hot cup to put that drink into and be able to enjoy it outside. All right, we're about to head into Rojo, but before we pass back through the other side of the ship, there's an item in this area of the ship that a lot of people think is an Alaska specific item, but it's not. If you know, tell me in the comments below and tell me so far which one you might be interested in. And I want to hear what sailing you're on and book your Virgin Voyages cruise with us. We will take care of you. We are experts in this space. Yeah, support the channel. All right, let's go talk about Rojo. I like these items. Rojo by Razzle Dazzle, Brilliant Lady Alaska. We have special dishes. And if you watch the Rojo podcast that I did with JC, you know that we disagreed on just about everything. I am having the treat yourself item, which is, well, now I've eaten a lot of this squid, but I've eaten half of it. JC's about to try the other half. All right, JC, tap in. I'm so curious what you think about this. We got Scott Golden holding the light over here so you guys can see this well. Oh, wait, oh, there it is. Thoughts?
I actually like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay, now the key question. The key question is, does JC think I like it?
I'm going to say you do. Yeah.
I do like it, and the reason why I like it, actually, I'm curious your reason why. My reason is the creaminess mixed with how tender and grilled the squid is with the big chunks of crab is fire.
Yeah. It's like a cheese, and I don't know if that's what it is in there, but I like that. And then the red sauce is very good. And the squid is cooked perfectly.
I love it. So this item is actually on the treat yourself list, Alaska sailings for Brilliant Lady only. And I'm going to put in the description the exact menu, how it's described on the menu, so you guys know exactly what's on it. I'm excited about this one. So this dish now looking a little bit prettier on the screen now. You gotta take the before photos and videos. The after ones are not pretty. This was a really delicious one and didn't come with that big of a price point. So like I was saying in the video, this is a treat yourself item. It's at a $12 price point and it's actually a nice portion size. Let's read about what it is. It's a grilled squid, which has king crab, Marcona almond, chorizo, and a shellfish sauce. So that's that creaminess that we were both trying, and it's our job to know all of the different things about the ship. So yes, JC and I try each other's food all the time. He also tried the blueberry sangria. That was a fun one to try. So make sure you're looking at those items as well on the drink side. But there's one more dish at Rojo that I want you to know about that's Alaska specific, and that's the roasted cod. I was kind of neither here nor there about it. It was tasty, but there are other items on the Rojo menu that I prefer. I love the normal, the larger treat yourself item, which is the paella, but I did try the fish item, and the way it's written on the menu, this one is a roasted cod with chickpeas, roasted peppers, and a manzanilla tapenade. So that's the other item that's at Rojo. All right, let's head into extra virgin because you don't have just one thing to get excited about, you have two, because there's not just Alaska specific items, but there's also, right, this is a new change across Virgin Voyages. Each of the lady ships has a few items that are specific to that lady ship at Extra Virgin. So you have both the Brilliant Lady specific items, and then you also have the bear icon for the Alaska specific items. And there's two items on the menu, one of which I ordered multiple times, and it was not what I expected. Like when I read it on the menu, I was like, I wonder what that's gonna look like. And when it came out, I was like, that was not what I had in mind, but it was absolutely delicious, which is why I ordered it multiple times. It's called the Alaskan 7-fish, which has scallops, cod, shrimp, smoked bacon, a chowder sauce. It's really creamy, so really delicious. And I actually think one thing I would recommend is hold on to that focaccia that they give you in the beginning. And put some olive oil on the focaccia and then dip it in this goodness. Oh yeah, that'd be I gotta go back and do that. All right, the second dish is a treat yourself item. And it's a squash wrapped halibut, and it comes with a $45 price point. And for this one, I would say it was, I'm gonna be totally honest, it was prettier than it tasted. It was a gorgeous dish. I mean, look at this thing. But what it is, and part of the reason why it's a treat yourself is because it's stuffed with crab. So it's Alaskan king crab stuffed zucchini blossom with cherry tomato, basil seeds, and it just has a much lighter flavor. And so that's the items that are at Extra Virgin, obviously, and the bar menu items as well. Especially if you're on the longer sailings, I'm gonna drop a little behind the scenes video I shot at the end of the video in case you care for a little bit more extra content. Check that out if you want to. Here's something that my boyfriend was getting every single day on the ship, and that's at the Grounds Club and Grounds Club 2, because they have some Alaska specific drink items and you can get them with or without alcohol. And that's the Salty Sea Otter Mocha, which has espresso, salted caramel, house chocolate, steamed milk. And you can add, I mean, their suggestion is the dark rum, but you could also add Bailey's to it, because the other item that alcohol suggestion is Bailey's is the Denali latte, which is a latte with local birch syrup, vanilla, dust of cocoa powder. Two really delicious items, but I really love that Salty Sea Otter Mocha. And then I'm gonna share with you a complaint that a lot of people have sent me because they're just expecting a free hot chocolate, which I don't know, maybe that's cool. Like they've never offered that in the past. There's definitely free coffee and free tea, but there's no free hot chocolate on the ship. Maybe they'll change that if Virgin Voyages, you're hearing people's desires. My request would be free Moet on the ship. That's just me though. But for Virgin Voyages Alaska, hot chocolate is currently not free. They have obviously hot chocolate you can purchase, but there is a way that you can get powdered hot chocolate. And in this clip here, I'm talking about some of the surprises that I had about shopping on the ship. You can catch it in the tips video, but they do sell powdered hot chocolate as like a gift or souvenir item. So I guess technically, if you wanted to do it that way, you could go purchase it from the store, use your sailor loot on it. Ooh, get some sailor loot, book your cruise with us. More info in the description below. Even if you're already booked, make sure you're being a smart traveler. All right, you made it to the end. Did you figure it out? Did you figure out what the item is that everyone's like, oh, no way, they have this? It's the baked Alaska. It's the baked Alaska at the wake. And when I was there, everyone was like, oh yeah, they have a baked Alaska, like let's get it. And I'm like, the baked Alaska has been on the menu since the beginning of time. Not the beginning of time, but the baked Alaska is really delicious. The first time I almost tried it, almost. The story's hilarious. I brought my mom on Virgin Voyages. I have never seen that little 4'10", 4'11" woman eat so much food in my entire life. And she had ordered the baked Alaska, and I was literally like, oh, just give me a second. And I was like reaching for my camera and like trying to find my light and things like that. And I turn around and the whole thing is gone. I didn't even get to try it. I was so excited. I've never tried the baked Alaska. I really wanted to try it, and she ate the whole thing. So I didn't try the baked Alaska until much later in life. I think these were sailings number 36 and 37 for me, but everyone got the baked Alaska on this sailing thinking it was an Alaska specific item, but it's always been on the menu. That pistachio is absolutely tasty. If this video has been helpful, cheers that like button, consider subscribing, and you know what? We're all a community. If you have been on these sailings and you tried something that, I mean, I tried. I was here for 14 nights and this is as far as I got. Don't forget, there's also like non-Alaska items that are wonderful to have in Alaska, right? Like the soup, the rotating soup in the galley, or the Tuscan Faro soup that's at Extra Virgin. There's so many delicious just things around the ship that aren't specific to Alaska, but they're lovely to have in Alaska. Or even the galley. The galley had the Alaska roll. There's just like some small items here and there. But add in the comments below if you have something that you tried. We're all dying to know, even me too. I'm Christine Lozada. Book your cruise with us, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. Ahoy from Extra Virgin. Tonight I want to show you something that you may or may not see on your sailing, and that all depends on how long your sailing is. You're also going to see a behind the scenes tonight. I am at Extra Virgin tonight for the manyth time on this 7-night voyage. I'm on a back-to-back in Alaska. And there's two things that are happening right now. One is, here's the behind the scenes. Here's Scott completely spaced out on his phone. Love it. I told him to do that because it's boring to wait for me to film. Do you mind holding the light over your 7 fishes dish? So on the Alaska Salients, they are doing Alaska-specific dishes, and one of them is this amazing seafood dish. I actually really like it. It's under the mains, and it's like scallop and fish, etc. It kind of feels like a chowder, but it's really a main dish, and honestly, having it, especially with the focaccia, is amazing. Here's something that you may or may not see on your sailing. Not this specific dish. Here's a light. You can see it right there. But this specific dish is the pork chop. And what's unique about it is on longer sailings, they will always add some special item. So it was this, and it was also the white bean soup that they had, and that's just on longer sailings. But the other thing is, one way to try lots of dishes at Extra Virgin is to do half portions of pasta. True behind the scenes. I deal with lots of hate comments. Actually, I don't know if you know this. I deal with lots of hate comments about people telling me I should not get half portions of pasta. They're like, she's amateur hour. She should eat the whole thing. I try. I like to drink most of my calories. But so 2 things. One, each of the ladies' ships has specific items just on that ladies' ship at each of the restaurants. And on Brilliantly, this ricotta nudie is one of them. And I got the half portion of it. Still 4 nice pieces. Honestly, it's all I need. Thank you for the light. But I wanted to bring you on this behind the scenes. It's one that you hopefully will get to experience because you're on Virgin Voyages Brilliant Lady Alaska. Or maybe you're on a longer sailing and you'll see some unique dishes. A lot of times I don't share things like this because people will say like, oh, I didn't get to experience that on my sailing. And I'll be like, well, what sailing were you on? The 4-night Miami. And it's like, well, they're not going to bring in a bunch of new items just for a 4-night Miami because you're only on a 4-night Miami. But especially if you're on a 7-night Alaska, they're going to try to do more unique things so you don't feel like you're eating the same thing all the time. I have been very pleased with the amount of Alaska food items. I've struggled to try all of them. And to be honest, even I'm on night 4 of my second sailing, so 14 total nights. I have just a few left, and I still have not tried everything. I've been trying for you, but tonight, the pork chop.